I'm Congresswoman Jahana Hayes, and thank you so much for inviting me to your Advocacy Day. I'm so sorry that we can't do this in person this year, because this is one of the events I look forward to. It is so amazing to see how it all comes together. For many years at my home church, I was a very active missionary. I am a very active missionary, but my job, sorry about that. We're in the middle of a very big thunderstorm, so there's not much I can do about that. But my job at church was to collect letters for Bread for the World. I had to go out at church and beyond and first of all tell people what it was and why it was important and why we needed legislative and congressional support for these types of initiatives. Every year, I challenged myself to collect more letters, to have a much larger footprint in this conversation. So for me to now be in Congress as the chairwoman of the subcommittee on nutrition and to see it all come full circle is just such a fulfilling experience for me. The work that you do is so important. I've seen during my travels as the National Teacher of the Year just how poverty impacts so many communities around the world. I've seen people experience hunger and poverty on a very different level. So your work to me is so important just in so many different ways. As a member of Congress, I continue to strive, especially on my committee, to find ways to eradicate hunger, to make sure that we are supporting humanitarian efforts around the world. But the work you do closes some of those gaps that we can never get to legislatively. Those human gaps, the why, the helping people understand why it's necessary and why it's important, to reaching out to people who rely on you before government or federal assistance can ever get to them, to say, you matter, and we're gonna do everything that we can to make sure that you are okay and your family is fed. I thank you for your tireless efforts and for all your work, and I am humbled and honored to be an advocate and will continue to work on the legislative side to make sure that we are not only eradicating hunger by feeding people, but making sure that they have the tools necessary, the supports necessary, the resources to feed themselves. And that's what you do. So again, thank you for doing this. Thank you for all of your advocacy. I look forward to seeing you on the Hill next year, and I'm so honored and humbled to be considered a friend, to see the work come full circle, and to know that I've had a footprint or some type of a fingerprint in just the magnitude of the work that you do. We all are called for a higher purpose, and none of this matters if we are not working to help other people. So again, thank you so much for everything that you're doing, and I look forward to seeing you next year.